for this it says, for the next part of this 5-9 Homelink, to follow these directions on the ruler below. Okay, and it lets you use this ruler right here. Okay, it gives you a ruler to use. And so this says, make a dot at 7 centimeters and label it with the letter A. Well, you guys know about centimeters. So you just look at the ruler, you see this ruler is in centimeters. Okay, and you would make a dot on number 7, and you're going to label it with the letter A. Alright, so everybody should look like that. For number 4, it says make a dot at 90 millimeters and label it with the letter B. So for this it's kind of tricky because you have to remember that 90 millimeters, you look at this, you don't see a 90 on it. Okay, so a millimeter, there's 10 of those in a centimeter. So you could count by 10 to get to 90. You could go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. If you did that, you would see that 9 centimeters is the same as 90 millimeters. And you'd label that with the letter B. Okay, so your ruler should look just like that so far. So you can check it with mine. Alright, then for number 5, it says make a dot at 13 hundredths of a meter. Okay, and label it with the letter C. So this is really tricky because it wants you to read 13 hundredths and remember that it's part of a meter and remember what that looks like. Okay, so this is yesterday where we talked about the meter stick. Remember? And we said there were 100 centimeters in a meter. Right? So if there's 100 centimeters in a meter, how many is 13 hundredths of a meter? How many centimeters is that? Okay? So it's kind of like, remember how we said that if we broke all these squares out, we could lay it across the meter stick? Okay? So we said that there would be like 100 squares laying across that meter stick. Do you guys remember that from yesterday? Okay, well, so this is just like that. So we look at this, we could say, well, if I had a 13, right, 13 hundredths of this, I know that's going to cover 10, 11, 12, 13 of this. So that's what it looks like. Okay, and if I put that into centimeters, I know that this is, if I put them side by side, 13 centimeters. Okay, so if I go back to my ruler, see there's a lot of parts to that problem that you actually had to stop and think about to get that working for you. Okay, you would go to 13, okay, you would draw a dot on there, okay, put a point on there and label it letter C. Okay, so there were a lot of things you actually had to think about to get through that problem. Okay, it wasn't an easy one. Then this one wants you to make a dot at 6 hundredths of a meter and label it with the letter D. So again, 6 hundredths of a meter, we can pretend that this is how many will go across our meter, we know that. Alright, if I'm going to cover up 6 of those, alright, I'd be covering up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then if I had one more 6, okay, I know that's 6 hundredths, okay, and I also know that that would equal, let's say there's one more there, 6 centimeters. Okay, so I have to look back at my ruler, find the number 6, okay, draw the point, and label it with a letter D. Okay, so your ruler on your paper should look just like that. Alright, should look just like that. And then let's do the multiplication down at the bottom just so you can check your answer and make sure if you got it right or not. So 3 times 9 is 27. Okay, 5 times 8 is 40. 0 times 8 is 0. 2 times 6 is 12. 3 times 3 is 9. And 5 times 3 is 15. Okay, are there any questions?